Hello and welcome to the third episode of Racerkarts Rifles, the Worrier project. Today we're going to look at the scope and we're going to do a quick calibration, and then what we're going to do, Tom, because we're not going to go and do anything straight away.
No, we're going to do 40 yards 10 shot groups, followed by a bit of a makeshift hunt, putting some of these balls out at different ranges and shooting them the second we see them.
Okay, grab yourself a cup of tea, a couple of biscuits and enjoy.
On with the show.
The day starts as any other day would when a scope has just been attached to the rifle, a quick zero, which in our case is to 27 yards, followed by a full calibration. We decided that it would be beneficial to Tom to be able to use the scope as a rangefinder when hunting, as he doesn't have a laser rangefinder, and guessing range with the 2.2 at our level of experience is a bit hit or miss. I suggest we initially mark up the scope using masking tape and biro for now, and deciding how it's permanently marked at a later date when he's felt the benefit of this setup. We mark up the scope as we calibrate the rifle against the tape measure, as it's a very good measuring system to work from. As I forgot my beloved 0mm targets today, we're using the reverse of another card to make a makeshift 0mm target in order to accurately plot the raider's trajectory. In a prone position for consistency and accuracy, we start at 10 yards and work backwards to 40 yards, shooting 4-shot groups as we go in order to build up an accurate map of the raider's trajectory. This may look like an absolute ball ache, but in reality it takes less than 10 minutes to complete the target and only 5 minutes to fill in the full calibration sheet, which is a key piece of data for any shooter. How to do a full calibration was covered in the first series of Racerkarts rifles. It may take a night or two to plot out a sheet in Excel, but once done it makes a huge difference to your confidence and your quarry bag.
With the calibration target completed, I relayed to Glenn that I can already see and feel a difference in the rifle. The whole setup feels much more positive, and that all the groups are under 1 inch. This would have never been possible previously, and I'm itching to shoot a 10-shot group. While we were out at 40 yards and seeing the groups at around 12mm, coupled with the calibration data, we didn't feel 40 yards was enough to challenge the rifle, so we pushed back to 45 yards to shoot the 10-shot group.
I plot out the trajectory map to 10 magnification and assess the Worrier's 0 reticle map at maximum range limit. Straight away we see the 0 is not 27 yards but 25. What does surprise us is the trajectory is shallow, hinting further study is necessary out to 60 yards. But for now we determine the Worrier should shoot accurately inside a 45 yard limit. The 4-shot groups are checked to ensure they're all within 1 inch, and it's really positive to see that they are very tight, confirming Falcon Accuracy Plus worked great with this rifle and barrel action. And your own time going?
With everything set, time running out, and my nerves on edge thanks to Glenn saying this was never going to be edited on the computer, the trial commences. I take my first shot aiming dead centre at the 1 inch screen disc with a 3mm dot holdover, and find that the shot drifts a bit lower than expected and way over to the right. I take aim at the target in the same spot as before using the same mil dot. With shot 2, the elevation is now correct to the map and 20mm right of the last shot. Thinking wind is a factor here, I watch the grass and wait for everything to go calm. With shot 3 done, we can now see the grouping emerge. Shot 4, my heart sinks a little bit as the windage is consistent, but the elevation is way off. Memories of past shooting come flooding back to me, so I focus on the next shot. Shot 5 is a perfect shot, and in a sharp crosswind, it lands almost on top of shot 2. Confidence returns and I line up shot 6. Shot 6 is a repeat of shot 5 and nibbles a little more out of shot 2, links us up to shot 3, creating a satisfying group with 2 annoying flyers. Shot 7 lands right on top of shot 3, which is technically pellet on pellet. Shot 8 lands low on shot 5, nibbling a bit more out of the group, but still really positive effort from the raider. Shot 9 lands inside the 1 inch group, around ½ inch right of shot 8. And shot 10 lands just off shot 3 to confuse us a bit more. As you saw, we're laid pretty low in fairly long grass. We find a grass blade with a pellet trunk missing out of it just in front of the moderator. We arrive at a conclusion that the long swaying grass is most likely clipped pellets, giving us 3 flyers. Either way, I'm over the moon that 9 of the 10 shots grouped inside an inch at 45 yards. This was not possible before the project commenced, and I can't wait to get on with the next test.
In the last test, I set Tom up with a challenge to spot and hit 3 foam golf balls. The initial data was to test the scope's range-finding capability and how accurately it interacts with the trajectory map as shown in Series 1. Tom would have 3 balls at random ranges, then range-find them using the scope and use the trajectory map to knock them off the tees. This would have been done on the scope cam and probably would have looked well cool. However, the deep grass halts this plan and we're forced at last minute to do a mock hunt. So, rather than put the balls out at different ranges from a static Tom, we plan to move Tom to the target. But Tom mainly shoots prone or off a bench, and to make matters worse, the balls aren't visible on the camera. In honesty, it turns out to be a bit of a pointless exercise, but do not fear, we will revisit the Richterscope's makeshift range-finding capability and put it through some tests another day. So, the sun sets over this little project. We have taken a rifle that was fit for the scrap heap and given it a few more years. There is scope to go further with this rifle and make it a little bit more manageable by adding a pressure gauge, but as it's a hunting rifle for bags of no more than 10 pieces of quarry, is there any need? We could also visit the 2-shot mechanism, but again, with accuracy it's now presenting, do we really need to do that? What is needed is for Tom to get out there and use it. Right, so at the end of 3 episodes, we've tested this rifle. What have we done realistically? We've marked up the scope so we can actually use it for range finding out in the field. We've sorted out the massive variation in feet per second. I mean, 100 feet per second shot to shot, that's massive, isn't it? That's massive. And we've sorted that out by a little sort of, what's a guide, isn't it?
Spring guide.
Spring guide, yeah, that's what we made.
A little shoulder pin.
The shoulder pin that sits in the back. We will be selling these. We're going to do small batch runs of all the parts that we make for all these rifles, and we're going to be selling them on an eBay page. Should you want to purchase one, should you have a Raider and have similar sort of accuracy issues, some of you will have these accuracy issues. I'm sure there's plenty of you out there that this rifle is better than, you know, Day-State's top line target shooting rifle. From what we've seen though, when we buy these out of the bag, they're not that great, are they?
No. It hasn't been amazing, but yeah.
You know, you might get the right one. Every now and again you'll get a decent one.
I think overall the work that it's taken to get it better, it hasn't been that great deal.
No, not at all. No, it hasn't. No, quite simply a little bit of data gathering, looking at some data, making some parts to sort of retrieve that data, and then fitting them. I think one of the biggest things that you're going to see is the inlet port. Yeah. The chamfer on there, not splitting stuff.
That was, you know, super easy work. Strictly speaking, you wouldn't have to strip the gun to do that.
No.
But that was a massive.
Definitely depressurise it though.
Yeah. So the purchasing of a new filler valve from the 10-shot Raider, and yeah, as I said, deburring the chamfer on the inlet port has saved a lot of trouble.
So feel free to comment. Don't troll. As always, stay safe, shoot straight. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really does help us, and it gives us a little bit of, you know, self-esteem as well. Check out the Facebook page. Always got stuff going on there. We have got some more videos in the pipework that we'll be bringing out in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned, stay safe, shoot straight. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
See you next time.